Now to Mike Rogers, former Michigan congressman who's currently running for the Senate. He was chairman of the House Intel Committee. So we talk to you often, sir, about some of these foreign policy stories. And let's start with the Houthis in Yemen and this back and forth now. How do you think President Biden's been handling this situation as it seems to escalate?
I'm not sure it could be worse. So this has been going on for weeks. It's interrupted international commercial shipping. There's already automobile companies announcing they would stop production because they can't get them through the straits. This has had kind of a ripple effect consequence. And it's a little late in the game. I'm glad they're doing it. But you need to take out the Houthi capability to deliver missiles. They just haven't done that yet. You can put your toe in the water, or you can kind of do this in a way that protects shipping and gets the world back to work again. They would be much better off to do that. And the first thing they should do is put the Houthis back on the terrorist list. Donald Trump put them on the terrorist list. Joe Biden's first order of business was taking them off the terrorist list. And it's by that footage that shows you there, if that's not terrorist activity, I don't know what is. Put them back on the list. That gives us a whole bunch of other options that we can use to try to disrupt their ability to do what they're doing.
The next headline I want to put up on that screen is where we're talking to Robert about this Senate vote on Israel funding. The Senate to vote on potential freeze to Israel aid as Democrats question conduct of the war and forcing human rights report as a condition for Israel aid as well, as you see there from the New York Times. Where do you stand on all this?
Listen, you don't push back on your ally when they're trying to disrupt and dismantle a terrorist organization. And listen, these are the toughest days, and it's pretty easy in the comfort of your safe security room in Washington, D.C., saying, boy, that doesn't look good. Remember what they went through, the Israelis went through, and they said, we're not going to allow this to happen again. There was a ceasefire, by the way, and it was on October 6th before this event even happened. There was no shooting going on. Israel had laid out a future where it didn't have to come to violence. And Hamas terrorist organization said, don't want to do that. And so what I think we have to do, be very, very careful about showing them, telling them exactly what you can't do. When you start telling the enemy what you can't do, guess what? Now you've got problems. And so that's where I think they should focus. Yes, I think Israel is going to change its operational course here, but they ought to do that. And any discussions the U.S. has should be in a closed room. They should have this offline. They shouldn't have this in the open press like, well, please don't do that, or don't do that, or don't do that. We want them to be successful. It's in our own national security interests for them to be successful. And oh, by the way, they're fighting Hezbollah now in the north, at least intermittently. And the FBI director said, we're worried that we could have a Hezbollah terrorist attack here in the United States. I mean, none of this is isolated. We need to understand what's going on in the bigger picture.
This part of it at least coming from the far left, so to speak, or the left wing of the Democratic Party. We mentioned Bernie Sanders, or saw that headline that he's forced this particular vote. I want to speak to you about Iran, about Ukraine for a moment as well. You know, Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, is over in Davos with the World Economic Forum meeting that we talked about last hour. He's promoting this peace plan that the Russians, I think, have already rejected. But here's a little bit of President Zelensky and what he had to say earlier today. Let's listen.
Putin embodies war. We all know that he is the sole reason why various wars and conflicts persist, and why all attempts to restore peace have failed, and he will not change. We must change.
Saying Putin won't change, we must change. He embodies war. But is Zelensky getting anywhere, and do you think this war will continue to be funded by the United States and others?
I think eventually they're going to get the funding they need, but they need to focus on the southern border. It's pretty difficult for Americans to understand why you're sending billions of dollars to Ukraine, and we can't get enough people and support and technology and rules and policies in place to protect our own southern border. Folks are pouring across that southern border. It's almost unfathomable, and it's going to cost, just last year alone, $450 billion for a state like Michigan.
Right.
That's
but it's
every
in our
single
interest
teacher
as
and
well.
Every single state trooper.
Wouldn't you say, from your experience, to fund Ukraine, the war?
I don't think we should absolutely pull the plug on them. I do think we need accountability. It's this Biden blank check, no strategy that has gotten us where we are today, which is a stalemate in Ukraine. That doesn't benefit anyone. Doesn't benefit the United States, doesn't benefit Ukraine. They've lost 25% of their population, has either been engaged, killed, wounded, or left. That's a huge, huge problem going forward.
I want to squeeze in.
You can't walk away from it, but you need to do it in a way that's more responsible than the Biden administration.
Understood. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.